95% of human communication happens beneath conscious awareness. Every person you meet wears a polished public mask designed to project strength, warmth, and control. Yet, behind this facade, subtle micro-expressions, postural shifts, and verbal slips leak their true motives. Robert Greene's masterpiece, The Laws of Human Nature, reveals that reading people instantly isn't magic, it is a systematic skill of observing the gap between appearance and reality. Before you can decode others, you must master the law of irrationality inside yourself. Humans like to believe they operate on logic, but emotion continuously drives decision-making. When you react emotionally to someone's performance, your own biases cloud your judgment. True observational power requires radical detachment. You must mute your personal ego, lower your reactive instincts, and treat every interaction as an objective experiment in human psychology. To break through the public persona, you must establish a baseline for every individual you observe. Notice how they sit, speak, and make eye contact when relaxed. Once this default state is mapped, any deviation becomes a blaring signal. A sudden spike in vocal pitch, an unnatural blink rate, or a tense shoulder adjustment signals an internal conflict between what they say and what they feel. The law of role-playing dictates that everyone presents a curated exterior to protect their vulnerabilities. The person who projects extreme hyperconfidence is often concealing profound inadequacy. The individual who constantly preaches humility frequently hungers for dominant power. By recognizing that extreme outward traits are usually psychological compensations, you can immediately map the hidden insecurities driving their behavior beneath the surface. Nonverbal leakage is your most reliable diagnostic tool. Pay close attention to micro-expressions, flashes of emotion lasting less than half a second. A momentary tightening of the lips reveals suppressed disagreement, while a quick flash of hostility around the eyes betrays hidden resentment. Because these reflexes occur before the conscious mind can intervene, micro-expressions expose genuine feelings long before spoken words can cover them up. To decode deception, apply the law of compulsive behavior. Human character is built on ingrained neural habits formed early in life. People cannot maintain a fake identity indefinitely. Under stress, they invariably repeat past behavioral patterns. Do not evaluate people based on their promises or grand claims. Instead, scrutinize their track record under pressure. Their past decisions represent the single most accurate predictor of their future action. The law of covetousness governs how desire distorts judgment. People rarely value what is readily accessible, they obsess over what is elusive or out of reach. When analyzing someone's ambition, observe what they attempt to isolate or artificially create scarcity around. By understanding what an individual covets, you gain direct leverage over their decision-making process and can easily anticipate their strategic moves. Short-sightedness is another core flaw in human nature. Most people react exclusively to immediate circumstances, completely blind to long-term consequences. When reading a competitor or negotiator, determine whether they operate from a tactical or strategic framework. Tactical thinkers are easily manipulated through immediate triggers and short-term bribes, while strategic thinkers play a multi-step game that requires deep, long-range decoding. When people feel attacked or judged, their defensive walls immediately rise, making them impossible to read. The law of defensiveness teaches us that to expose someone's real motivations, you must first validate their self-opinion. Mirror their body language, agree with their core values, and lower their psychological guard. Once an individual feels completely safe, they naturally relax their filter and reveal their private thoughts. Grandiosity is a silent epidemic that distorts reality. The law of self-delusion states that people frequently overestimate their abilities while downplaying luck and external support. You can identify grandiose individuals by monitoring their response to criticism and failure. True competence welcomes feedback and adapts. Fragile grandiosity responds with anger, blame-shifting, and emotional outbursts to preserve a delicate, inflated ego. Envy is one of the most hidden human emotions because society strictly forbids it. The law of envy manifests in subtle microslips known as Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in another's misfortune. Watch closely when delivering good news. A fleeting smirk, a delayed congratulations, or a sudden change of topic indicates underlying envy. Unchecked envy eventually transforms into active sabotage, making early detection critical. Passive-aggressive hostility is a common weapon used by those who fear direct confrontation. The law of aggression reveals that passive aggressors cause damage while maintaining plausible deniability. They use subtle sarcasm, deliberate delays, and backhanded compliments to destabilize you. To neutralize passive hostility, ignore their words entirely, observe their objective impacts, and force them into direct, clear commitment. Every individual possesses a repressed shadow, the collection of dark impulses, desires, and traits they deny having. The law of shadow projection occurs when people aggressively criticize in others the exact flaws they secretly possess in themselves. If someone continuously accuses peers of dishonesty or greed without proof, they are projecting their internal shadow onto others, offering a clear window into their own hidden mind. Gender rigidity limits emotional flexibility and reveals underlying fragility. Greene highlights that balanced individuals integrate both masculine decisiveness and feminine empathy. Those who strictly enforce rigid, hyperstereotyped roles are typically overcompensating for deep-seated insecurities. Spotting this rigid posturing allows you to target their specific anxieties, predicting how they will react when their rigid self-image is challenged. Synthesizing these laws forms an active observation framework for daily life. First, clear your personal emotional lens. Next, map the individual's relaxed baseline behavior. Then, look for nonverbal anomalies, extreme compensations, and micro-expressions under pressure. Finally, cross-reference these anomalies with past behavioral patterns to predict their next strategic move with terrifying accuracy. Mastering human nature is not about manipulation, it is about self-preservation and social mastery. Now that you have learned to read the hidden signals beneath the mask, your next step is mastering influence and power dynamics. Transition directly to our blueprint on the 48 laws of power to turn your observational intelligence into an undeniable strategic advantage.